Hey everyone, as always Jarek here, and welcome to an award show that won't give every award to The Last of Us 2. Okay, we know the Game Awards are a joke, but I feel this year was particularly bad. I mean, the Final Fantasy remake got Soundtrack of the Year over Doom Eternal and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. No shit, something's wrong. So I'll just make my own Game Awards show. But without the blackjack and hookers, because it's 2020. Here are the categories I will be giving fake awards to that mean absolutely nothing. Game of the Year. Best Art Direction, Best Soundtrack, Best Graphics, Best VR Title, Best Multiplayer, Underrated Game of the Year, and the very coveted Worst Game of 2020. The requirements to winning these awards is that your game has to have come out in 2020 and I have to have played it. I don't have to have played it on stream or made videos of it, I just have to have played it. Let's start with one of the more obvious ones, Best VR Title. Keep in mind, Boneworks came out in 2019, so it's not eligible. And that really only leaves Half-Life Alyx. This one was a no-brainer. You pretty much only have indie developers trying to compete with Valve, and that's just not fair. With that said, Half-Life Alyx is one of the best experiences I've had in any video game, let alone in 2020. The one major thing VR is lacking are AAA titles, and Valve showed us why. In all reality, it is just a Half-Life title in VR. It doesn't necessarily innovate anything different that we haven't seen in previous Half-Life games, it just uses VR for more immersion, but damn does it do that well. And you can't ignore the story because it's not just a spin-off. I can't say anything more because of major spoilers, but it's going to blow your mind when you finally can play it. Next up is Best Multiplayer, and I kind of have to make an exception here. There wasn't really any multiplayer games in 2020 that grabbed me. I kind of don't care about any of them, to be honest. Modern Warfare came out in 2019, by the way. Cold War I didn't quite like as much. It just exists. So I'm gonna have to make a weird exception to my rules here. Kind of, not really. The game did technically still come out in 2020, but not like you're thinking. I'm gonna have to give Best Multiplayer in 2020 to Halo Master Chief Collection on PC. Do I need to explain why? Halo 1, 2, and 3 are amazing. Let's ignore that Reach also released in 2020. Until around a week ago, I didn't know who I was going to give this award to, Best Graphics in 2020. There's quite a few games that looked good, but the clear winner to me is a game that might make some people upset, Cyberpunk 2077. Now stop before you leave your angry comments down below. I played on a high-spec PC. If you're playing on console, this is a totally different story. However, on PC, the amount of detail and how it fully uses ray tracing and DLSS makes for one of the best games I have ever seen. I've not tinkered with settings to see how good I can make a game look like this since the original Crysis in 2007. Underrated Game of the Year. This one is really special to me, and it's a game that might surprise you because I never made a video of it. Underrated Game of the Year 2020 for me is Nexomon Extinction. You probably have no clue what this is, so let me explain real quick. Nexomon is Pokemon if Pokemon didn't remain stagnant over the last 20 years. I say this as a Pokemon fan, by the way. I don't dislike Pokemon. The music is fantastic, the worlds have a great amount of detail to them with a nice art style. Aside from the overworld character designs, let's ignore those. Most of the Nexomon themselves are just badass looking. And there's actually a story you'll care about, unlike Pokemon. You'll be invested in the characters and you will not see the plot twist coming in the story. It's written particularly well. But most importantly, it actually evolves where Pokemon would not. To make an example, the beginning of the game starts right into the story. None of the welcome to Pokemon stuff, it's going into a story. Then when that opening intro sort of thing is done, you're able to traverse the entire map. Right from the beginning of the game, you can capture any Nexomon you want and build your entire team. Then the world scales to your level without becoming too hard or too easy. If an indie team can do this like Nexomon, surely Game Freak can do this for Pokemon. And keep in mind, you can do all of this before you even get to your first town. And then you get to other changes they've made, like for example, moves don't have power points, instead it's stamina based, and the moves themselves have speed instead of the Nexomon. Trust me when I say the changes they've made are all for the better and they push the genre forward, which is something Pokemon just isn't doing. Now I love both Pokemon and Nexomon, keep that in mind. I play both of them almost every single night before I go to sleep. Just relaxing games to enjoy. But over the last 6 months or so, Nexomon has just become my go-to game in that genre. I do prefer it over Pokemon now. As a warning, if you were wanting to get into Nexomon, you need to play the first game and its post-game content, which is basically an expansion for free, before you play the second game. The first game is just called Nexomon, you can get it on Steam. The second game is called Nexomon Extinction, and this is on virtually every platform. Steam, Xbox One, PS4, Switch, play it on whatever you want. I'm gonna lump these next two categories together because they have the same winner and they go hand in hand. Best Art Direction and Best Soundtrack. And two games stand above everything else in my opinion here. Doom Eternal and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. This is actually pretty difficult to choose. Doom Eternal has some amazing gothic art style, and the music I have not stopped listening to since the game has come out. It just gets me pumped. With that said, I have to give this one to Ori and the Will of the Wisp. You could take any screenshot from the game and hang it in a museum, and the music, while it doesn't get me hyped, strikes an entirely different emotional response from me. It is just leagues above most other things in games. I can't get over the fact that the Final Fantasy remake won over these two games. What a joke. Now we get to the most coveted award, Worst Game of 2020. There's two games that immediately come to mind. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. Oh my god, look at their face! What's wrong with their face? Did not do what its name says it's going to. This game feels like a VR title that should have come out 4 years ago. It was outdated on launch, not optimized well, and in general, a disappointment. Medal of Honor has died again. But luckily for Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, there was a game that was even worse that came out this year. The 13 remake. They took a cult classic that people absolutely loved, and they turned it into this.
It said press Q to use it, but... Oh my... What the f***? What happened? What's going on? First of all, where did this person come from? Secondly, what happened to them? It looks like something out of the thing. But look at this water, like what the heck? Jesus Christ.
Nothing you can do.
That was so bad. Wow, I feel my frame rate taking. Where did the other magazine come from? What's with the... hold on. First of all, where does the other magazine come from? It just materializes? Secondly, audio, what? Oh. Then I would rather just play the earlier Quake games. Why was she a man suddenly? What is going on with her legs? Look at her face. What? Where did that guy come from? What the? Alright, hold on. I gotta get a look at this guy. What the f is going on to the... What's happening with his face? Oh my god. Oh my. Oh, I destroyed him too hard. Oh!
Huh? Don't lose him!
Oh!
Need I really say more? Now we're finally to the big one. Game of the Year. And in my opinion, this one's not even close. Doom Eternal has amazing graphics, an amazing art style, some of the best combat I have ever experienced. In my opinion, this is a step up from Doom 2016 in every imaginable way, except for maybe the bosses. For the life of me, I cannot figure out why anyone would like Doom 2016 more than Doom Eternal, unless they just don't like their games pushing them to get better. Doom Eternal is such a good game that I'd go so far as to say that this is going to be one of the games we remember when 2030 comes around as being one of the best in this decade, let alone in 2020. I can't even consider any other nominations. Nothing else is even close to Doom Eternal for being best of the year in 2020. Especially not The Last of Us 2. Well, that should sum up my Game of the Year awards for 2020. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Not really, but you're gonna tell me down in the comments anyway, so go ahead and leave your comment calling me an idiot. If you want to come hang out in the future, my Twitch is twitch.tv/JarekTheGamingDragon. If you subscribe, you get to see my videos ahead of time. Thanks all of you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.